What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. This is going to be a heavy one. All right, so if you can't deal with heavy meta science, spirituality, and scientific talk, or you might not even want to watch this one, but I feel like it needs to be said. One of the reasons I preach semen retention so much for the fellas, and one of the reasons I preach celibacy so much for the ladies, is because you need to make sure you're in control of your sex and your sex drive, okay? And that you're doing it healthily with people that you like and love or care about, okay? Because what happens is, I remember in the last video that kind of led into this, I said most single mothers are hypersexual, and the reason they pick trash dudes is because a real man's gonna realize this girl's trash. She's basically just a whore. Like, that's it. And he's not going to deal with her. So she has to find someone who's hypersexual, has a sexual attachment just like her, which usually ends up being the bad boys, the essays, the Vatos, the biker gang dudes, the Chaz, the Tyrones, the players. They got attachments too. They're both having sex because they cannot control their lust, okay? And they're having it as a trauma response. They're not doing it for love. They're just doing it because they can't control it. They're doing it as a trauma response. They're doing it because it makes them feel better. It's like a drug to them, okay? But sexual attachments is a spiritual thing, guys. This is very real, and it gets very dangerous. So I'm going to break down the signs that you might be hypersexual or have a sexual attachment, because like I said, all mental diseases are really just spiritual. Read the Tao of Physics. It breaks it all down. Okay, they work side and side. All right, so like I said, here's some of the signs that you might have a sexual attachment or you might be hypersexual. Okay, and then I'm going to tell you guys how to break it if it may be a problem. Right? So sign number one, abuse of porn content. All right, so we talk about this all the time. People be addicted to porn. 64% of men have admitted to watching porn on a somewhat regular basis. 36% of women. There's a lot more women who watch porn than y'all think. But either way, dudes who get up choking their chicken all day. You dudes who follow me for the semen retention, y'all know what I'm talking about. Just giving up all their energy, giving up all their strength, giving up all their zinc, giving up all their spinal fluid, giving up all their DNA. Okay, eventually what that does is a psychological effect, because things can be transmitted through the screen. A lot of the porn industry is dark and satanic, guys. So what happens is you keep watching that, you keep beating, a lot of these attachments and these energies can come through the screen and attach themselves to you. That's why you'll just be playing the game, all of a sudden you're like, damn, I feel like I want to jerk off or something. Or as a woman, you might just be reading a book and you're like, damn, I kind of want to play with myself or something. That's because there's a force driving you now mentally. Now you have a mental problem. You have a problem where you need to get off all the time. Eventually your hand or your fingers ain't gonna be enough. You're gonna start going through extreme methods to have more sex. Okay, the next thing, extreme mood swings or violent aggressiveness. Okay, somebody who might be bipolar or somebody who might seem like they two different people. A lot of times the reason they're having extreme mood swings is because there's an attachment there. The extreme mood swings or the extreme difference that you're seeing in these people, like before y'all have sex versus after y'all have sex or during this sex, is because something is already attached to them. And when they're getting to the point of being highly lustful or sexual, this thing comes out. All right, now this is gonna all tie together. Keep rocking with me here. Someone who craves high risk sex or raw dogging. Okay, people who always, you pull out the condom, or I don't like to use the condom, or a woman who might say, women say this all the time, oh, it feels better if you don't use the condom, or would you think I got something? A lot of these people have sexual attachments. And the sexual attachment spreads itself through body fluids, guys. Just like STDs. Remember when I told you guys everything's connected? So just like STDs, sexual attachments spread themselves through body fluids. Soul ties, same thing, more easily spread through body fluids. So a lot of times someone who has a sexual attachment or a lust problem or a sexual demon on their shoulders or something like that, they're gonna strive for the most risky sex they can get, because then they can be passed on to the partner. Another sign, consistently at sex parties or orgies. Okay, another thing, a woman, look, let me tell y'all something about women. When women have game nights, it's basically an orgy, because there's going to be like 6 to 8 women there, probably 2 or 3 men, the highest men that each one of them know, and you can have your pick of those 8 women. So if you have a woman who's constantly at sex parties, like I said, orgies, or she's having game nights, everybody drinking, smoking, taking drugs, and they're all going to eventually have sex with each other. It's very low vibrational, and again, that's that attachment trying to pass itself around, because it knows if it lowers your inhibitions, okay, you get higher, you get drunk, you're a lot more likely to have high-risk sex. High-risk sex makes it easier for the attachment to get passed around. You guys, this shit is real, man. I'm just being honest with you guys, okay? Dreams of a sexual nature. All right, some of you dudes who've been on your semen retention journey, you'll know what I'm talking about. You hold it for long enough, then all of a sudden you have a dream. All right, and the dream's gonna feel really real. And the same thing happens for women sometimes. Like, I used to know this one chick, she used to rock like this when she was asleep. I used to be like, yo, why you rocking like that? And then every time she woke up, she had to piss. And she didn't realize she was rocking like that because she was having sex in her dream. Probably with an incubus. Having sex in her dream. And she woke up and had to pee because she was squirting. And I talked to her about it. I'm like, hey, man, you don't think that's a little bit of weird or a thing? And she said, no, I talked to my aunt. My aunt did it. That made me feel like it's not weird. Your aunt got an attachment too. Y'all sleeping and having the whole orgasm. That's not supposed to happen, guys. Like I said, some of you dudes who are on the semen retention, y'all know what I'm talking about. Wet dreams. And here's what's crazy. A lot of times, these things will come to you. Some of them are so strong when you've had this attachment for so long, you didn't realize it. Some of them are so strong, they'll come to you. They'll be able to manifest themselves and come to you in a ghost-like or like a half physical, spiritual form and actually perform the act. And they'll come to you as in something that'll make you comfortable, like a celebrity you always wanted to sleep with, or maybe an ex or something like that. And it'll feel like you're getting head. It'll feel like you're having sex, guys. But this is literally a sexual demon. This is an incubus or a succubus that you're having sex with. This is real. Like I said, people have had real stories. I just gave you a story of a woman and her aunt doing this. And like I said, most of my semen retention guys, they didn't have wet dreams. So they know that this is real, okay? Extreme penetration, sadomasochism, rape, choking, cutting, or trauma. All right, so these are the type of people who choke me, daddy. Put it in my butt. You know, the blow my back out people. I've been telling y'all about them. You got to blow my back out. You got to hit me like you mad. Don't do me like this. Do me like that. A lot of these people have sexual attachments. Because the sexual attachment, you guys got to understand. Sexual attachments thrive in negativity. This is why I told y'all a lot of single fathers and single mothers have sexual attachments. That's why they're always yelling, they're always fighting, they seem like they hate each other, they have nothing positive to say about each other, but they have a kid or multiple kids together. That's because even though they probably are toxic as hell and should get away from each other, the negative sexual attachment that's on both of them is feeding off of the negative energy of each other. So there's a love-hate relationship there. They hate each other, but they need each other because that negative energy is feeding the attachment. Like I said, guys, this thing goes deep. It's not a game, man. This goes really, really, really deep. Now, here's a big one. Adults with kids, pedophilia. Pedophilia is the easiest way to spread a sexual attachment because what happens is kids can be molded. They're young, they're innocent, and they're full of energy that's not really directed nowhere yet. So what happens is a lot of the times, first of all, you have a sexual attachment if you're a pedophile. And there's no debate about that. Trust me, you have it. To even be able to do that, that's what you have. But what happens a lot of times, and this is why I said a lot of single mothers and single fathers have this problem. Okay? Because what happens a lot of times is a kid will get molested or raped or something like that, and now they have the sexual attachment. Now they have no control over their libido. And they're going to go out having wild, reckless sex, probably becoming a single father to multiple women or a single mother themselves. And then eventually they'll go and they'll touch a kid and they'll pass that on to the kid. They become super hyper-sexualized because they've been having sex since they were a child. It's a coping mechanism for them. When they get scared, they have sex. When they get sad, they have sex. When they get too happy, they have sex. When they get angry, they have sex. Hate fucking. I told you guys, y'all watch this whole video, everything's gonna all string along together. Everything, it all adds up. It all makes sense. Like I said, it's a meta-science, okay? Spiritual and scientiality, all right? But any type of pedophilia, like I said, that's the easiest way to spread sexual attachments. If you guys hear about the uncle or aunt or the babysitter, and it happens to guys too. Like one of my friends, you know, his babysitter had him eating her out. So it happens to guys too. But if you guys hear about that, y'all got to get that out the family or out the situation. Don't ever hide that. Get rid of that person. Otherwise, your generational curse is going to be having hypersexual, sexual attachment people in your family, okay? Experiencing sex with an unseen force or presence. Now, again, this goes back to what I was talking about with the dreams. Sometimes you let these attachments hang around for too long. They can literally manifest a physical body temporarily, okay, on our plane in the world, aka, like I said, a ghost, and they can do what they need to do to you. Or make it feel like they're doing what they need to do to you. Because they're fragmented into your soul as well. So the combination of their physical plane as a ghost and that fragmentation they have in your soul can make it feel like you're actually having sex, but you're not. I gave you guys 2 examples already of people feeling like this. This is not cap. This is real. This is 100% real, okay? And the last one, the biggest one, multiple personality disorder. Again, Trying to tell you guys, a lot of single dads who's like serial knocking chicks up, a lot of single moms, they have this problem. Y'all ever talk to a woman, it's all fine and dandy, she all good, and as soon as you hit it, she just gets super weird, or she call you the next day being super aggressive or looking up for a reason to make a fight, or it seems like she's bipolar or has multiple personality disorder, or it might be schizophrenic or something like that. That's the attachment. As the attachment becomes stronger, not only can it form itself in the real world and start to actually have sex with you and not even make you go out and do these reckless ass acts, but it can start to bang into your personality. Okay, Nicki Minaj even talked about this before. Look,
a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage, so he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
That must be nice to have like an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every...
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up, now he won't leave.
So that was Nicki Minaj talking about it. So guys, y'all gotta understand that like this is real. Now I ain't make this to tell anyone not to have sex. I like having sex. We all like having sex. I made it simply to let you guys know there's deeper levels to things than you guys think that there is. There's other astral planes and there's other worlds, there's other things going on. Everything that happens in the physical happens in the spiritual. So you gotta make sure you're always in control of your libido, and you gotta make sure you're only sleeping with people who you really bang with. Okay, you don't gotta love everyone you sleep with, but you need to at least like them. They need to at least be a friend. They need to at least have good energy. You need to at least know what they're about. Reckless, dangerous, raw, orgy, party, one night stand, sex. Like I said, once in a blue moon, if you want to do it, cool. But if you find yourself being drawn to that, or you find yourself in situations all the time, then you might want to go and get some help. All right, now, therapy is number one. But depending on how long you've had this attachment, or how long this been going on, or if you want to go a spiritual route instead of a science route, because therapy is the science route, but if you want to go a spiritual route, get you a shaman. And the shaman will get that attachment out of your soul and get rid of that fragment. Do what you got to do. But if it's not as bad, celibacy or semen retention if it's not as bad. But if you feel like it's really bad, you're like, yo, I really got a problem. Like, I can't control myself. I'm weak. Somebody just come up on me and they just do it. Again, guys, I've met men and women who are like that. You literally could just come up on them and they'll just do it. They don't even know why they do it. They cry after they did it. Or they run after. I'm telling you guys, that's what makes them seem bipolar, because they're like, why did I even do this? I didn't want to do this. I told y'all the girls who cry when they run, post-nut clarity. Post-nut clarity is a thing, because most of y'all be operating. It's not even really you who want to have sex. Listen, man. So those are the signs you might have an attachment. Like I said, celibacy and semen retention is the first two ways to get rid of it. But if that's not working, please go and get the therapy. Please go and see a shaman, because this can ruin your life. This can end up having you with AIDS. This could end up with you having a child, which is a permanent attachment to a person you do not want to be attached to. All right, so those are the signs that you might have a sexual attachment or be hypersexual. All right, I'm Alex and I'm out. Peace.